Welcome to our tutorial about stacked recording. Stacked recording is pretty similar to the other cycle recording we just talked about, except it displays each take in its own lane on the track in one vertical stack. This lets you see all the takes all the time, instead of only one at a time in your project window. Stacked recording is more convenient when your screen is large enough to support this type of expanded track view. A stacked view of your takes makes it easier to edit the parts that you like into one composite. In this tutorial, we'll be learning how to do stacked recording to an audio track and to play back the various takes. From the Transport panel, select Stacked from the Cycle Record Mode menu. Let's make sure the Cycle button is active, and now let's set our left and right locators. Let's press L to position the cursor at the left locator. Make sure you give yourself enough room on either end to allow for preparation and reverb trails. We're ready to record. We enable the track, ensure that the monitor's on, and press record. We're going to try 3 laps. Here are my pre-clicks. Now when Cubase reaches the right locator, it laps back to the beginning. And back for our take number 3. And let's press stop. Here are our 3 takes. They appear one below the other, each in its own lane on the clarinet track. Even though we couldn't see all 3 takes while we were recording, but they do appear once we press stop. They are numbered sequentially, take 1, 2, and 3, in the order that we recorded them. Each has its own lane on my clarinet track. We can change the names of these takes if we do want to. Alright, let's deactivate the Record Enable and Monitor buttons so that we can listen to our takes. Let's make our screen a little bit more comfortable. I'm going to adjust the height of the clarinet track to better view my 3 takes here. From the Edit Tools icon bar, activate the Mute tool. This is how we're going to listen to our 3 takes. Currently, take 1 and take 2 are muted. That's why they're grayed out. Notice how take number 3 displays in green. It's the active take. By default, the last take that you recorded will be the active take. Let's position our cursor where we want to start the playback and press the spacebar or start. Now we're listening to take number 3. Let's press stop. Now let's mute take number 3 and have a listen to take number 2. We simply click on it to unmute it. Position the cursor and press play or your space bar to get rolling. I do hear a mistake here. I don't think I'm going to keep this take. I was just experimenting though, so that's what stacked record mode is great for. Let's have a listen to take number 1 by muting take 2 and unmuting take number 1. Okay, I do like parts of take 1. But I'm not crazy about this ending bit here. Let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to make a split here. I'll mute this bit. If I had any bits I liked from the other tracks, I could unmute those and make a composite take. I'm just going to fade that out a bit. I need a fade at the end of this phrase as well. And let's have a listen. Okay, that fade's a bit too long. I'll make the fade sound a little more natural by changing the curve. Now let's have a listen to some of the end sections on the other takes to see if there's something that I might want to use there as well. We'll unmute take 2. Make a cut at an appropriate spot. And let's see how this mixes. Not bad. Now let's see if there's anything on take 3 that we might be able to use. I don't think I have a good place to make a break that would allow for a smooth transition from take 1 to 3, however. I don't have any phrase breaks. Let's have a listen to take 3. Reposition my cursor and press play. Okay, I'm not crazy about that take, period. We'll have to lay down a new ending bit. I will keep this particular take here. We can rename a take. Just simply type a new name in the description field. Let's call this one Second Best. You see how the description changes right on the lane. We can delete a take. Simply select it with the Object Selector tool and press Delete on your keyboard. The other two audio images stretch out to take up the room. We can clean up our lane display even a little bit more. Click on the Lane Display Type button and select Lanes Off. Now only the active parts of our takes are shown as event images on our track. And we can restore the track size. Let's even out the lane display a bit. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Stack 2. This is for MIDI and instrument tracks. If you select this mode by mistake for an audio track, no worries, because it behaves exactly like stacked recording mode for audio tracks. Stack 2 doesn't mute the previously recorded MIDI. It lets you build up your content in each successive lap. That's different than our stacked recording you saw here, where 2 of the takes were muted and only 1 was available for us to listen to at a time. Stacked 2 is really handy for building a drum rhythm or some other kind of complex rhythm where you need to keep the instruments separate. Or, for example, if you've got a piano part to lay down that's just too difficult for you to do live, you can do, let's say, first the left hand and then add the right hand. We're going to be covering MIDI cycle recording later in this course. I did want to mention it here because MIDI recording can be really handy for musicians who work primarily with audio but find that to get something right on a recording they need to play it slower than the actual speed or build it up a few notes or ideas at a time. And this concludes our tutorial on stacked recording to an audio track.